In a world oversaturated with other people's opinions, what is needed now is more opinions! Alex and the Garbage Man! I'm Alex, and what is this? What is going on? Nick, what are we doing here?
I'm trying to get it together, man. Because, I've watched that video about a dozen times, and I still pops me every time. It's just ridiculous. Yeah. Yeah, apparently we're here to give our opinions about world news and other happenings that are going on in your guys' neighborhoods, our neighborhoods, and the neighborhoods all around the world. Correct, Alex?
Yes.
Good input, sir. Good input.
Yes. We're like Robert. I'll be the Robert De Niro of the show. Yeah.
That's my friend Bobby here. Bobby, right? Bobby? Yeah. Oh, there. Now I can share. So, we'll start off right away. Why is this not on Nick's Facebook? What is going on, you say? What could be happening? Well, about a week and a half ago, I got one of those little notices that said, this picture goes against the standards and practices of Facebook. In a private group that you would figure would be safe-ish, and it wasn't nudity or very gratuitous violence. It was a picture of a gentleman who had Jeffrey Dahmer's face screened or photoshopped onto him, clearly eating at a Five Guys establishment, and the face looking at the camera going, I don't think there's Five Guys in this burger. That caught me a 30-day ban to go live. That was in September. I swear to cow, 20 minutes later, I catch another ban because apparently I shared the same picture back in July and got another 30 days piled on top of it. So, meow, I'm 60 days that I can't go live on Facebook. So I have to piggyback off my co-host here and off the YouTube page, which if you now look, there's an Alex and the Garbage Man YouTube page. Go subscribe, like, do other stuff that you're apparently supposed to do so people will watch us do our stuff. Right, Alex?
Why do we have I don't understand this. Why do we have to remind people to do that? Like and share and subscribe. Right? We're telling people what to do, and I'm not in favor of that because I'm all about freedom. I don't want to tell people what to do.
They took their freedom.
Freedom.
Next, you're going to tell me that I have to wear a mask all the time and whatnot. I'm a kid, not a mask.
I think it was our good trucker friend Ryan who shared an infographic on his Facebook page that if people are wearing masks in their car, are they also wearing condoms in their beds while they're sleeping? Do you see the analogy?
Oh, no, I get it. I completely... They do make me laugh when you see those ones wearing their masks. They're like, you are alone. You realize that. You can take that out because, I mean, the moment I walk out of a store, it's like,
yeah,
and I can breathe just fine. It's just I wear a gaiter, but it's still like, right? Because your face is all sweaty, and you are lacking the beard hair, which is shocking. I figure by this stage you'd be kicking a beard like Bruce, but it comes out of the gaiter, so my beard's like this. It's like voluptuous. It's like poofy. Yeah. It's like that scene in Oliver and Company when Oliver walks over the vent, he goes, right? So it's like a pushed up and this looks ridiculous. So, yeah. So guys, we're not going to have a set. There's nothing set to this show. We're just going to be two guys that grew up together as really good friends that are still good friends. I consider Alex one of my good friends, and we're just gonna bullshit about stuff. We're gonna bullshit about world stuff, local stuff, stupid stuff, music stuff, movie stuff, game stuff, anything that you want to stuff. Wait.
Yes,
Yeah,
no,
basically
that's
anything
good.
you
Keep
want to
going
stuff,
with
and
it.
stuff.
Yeah.
Just we'll stuff the crap out of it. You know,
We are stuff.
we will stuff it all, and in the good Las Vegas way. So I don't know how many people are going to see this video to start. We don't care. This is what we're going to do. We'll figure out all the shit to get everybody to see it, and yeah. So because this was a very hot topic only about a week ago. Hot topic, get it? That's a store. I have to get your opinion on it because you're usually you've always been the smart one, especially between us two. Like, I've seen both arguments now with this Pepe Le Pew thing being, hold on, no, just with the Cardi B that just happened. Okay. Yeah. I kind of see where some of the points where people are, the cartoon is aimed at a person, and hello, Jagger. Of course, hey. Jagger, I did read his Facebook. That was, the Grammys isn't targeted for a kid audience. I will disagree with the targeting. Sunday night at prime time is usually it's usually been a family time, in my opinion. So usually, and Grammys, you would think would be more more of a family thing. I know this is an older news, but I really wanted to talk about, get your opinion about it. So, but then like other people are saying, like Looney Tunes is specifically aimed towards children. Mm-hmm. So I understand the idea, but how do you the comparison between the two? Well, how do you feel about the comparison between the two?
Well, like you said, Looney Tunes specifically aimed towards kids. The Grammys is more of a wider general audience. I don't know that there's any set age limit or age group. The age group that the Grammys usually appeals to is between 13 and, I don't know, 30, something like that. It's in the younger range, but really anyone can watch it. And for the comparison, as I've seen on Facebook, between Pepe Le Pew being too hot to handle for children, but the Cardi B performance with, I can't remember the other person, but that's perfectly okay. Well, I don't think it's a direct comparison. I don't watch the Grammys, so I didn't see the performance. It's not as though it's being said on liberal media that the Cardi B performance was how we should be basing our society culturally and morally and ethically. No one is saying that, and no one is saying that Pepe Le Pew is canceled forever. So I think it's a tenuous connection at best. It's, in this day and age, everything is exaggerated. This is no exception. It's just more, exaggerated fear mongering, kind of.
And I'm glad you said it, because I was going to say, out of all my music friends, you, Chadney, Brody, any guy that I would like, I know Jag's really into music and stuff. Jagger would be up there too, but you would be the last person who would ever follow a Grammy, anything to do with the Grammys. The thing I was offended the most about was the 15 seconds they gave to Eddie Van Halen.
Ooh.
For a tribute. Like, I realize musicians die. I understand that. So it's circle of life. Hakuna Matata. Wait, wrong one. But anyways, you're talking about a guy who they had to make tablature for. Like, that's huge. And he literally got, like, I thought he would have gotten a one of a Hall of Fame induction kind of thing.
Yeah.
Like showing him playing and Van Halen clips and whatnot, but just a 15-minute or 15-second blurb, I thought was a little shitty. I would expect any of the bigger names that go to get at least that star treatment, if you will. But that's just my opinion. So yeah, as far as the Grammys go, who gives a fuck about the Grammys? Really? Like, has anyone cared about the Grammys since I don't know, ever?
People in the music industry care about the Grammys, and also people on YouTube who are conservative Christians who are very, very concerned about the moral direction the country is going in, especially the degeneracy by the left. I always see that on the Drunken Peasants. They play clips of
Yep.
people who are kind of grifting for views, I would say.
Mm-hmm. Oh, most definitely. Yeah, it's well, and okay, but I know you're a fan of him. Did you see Bill Burr's comments?
No.
Oh my! Well, he was a host on like the internet side, like stuff that didn't make air, and he's like, "If I'd have known this wasn't on TV, I wouldn't have bought a suit." And he couldn't pronounce one of the Latin stars' names, and he says like, "Christine, I'm sorry, I don't know how to pronounce your name." And of course, everybody lost their minds because he couldn't pronounce her name. And you know, Bill Burr was just like, "And you hired Bill Burr? What? Did you not see the Saturday Night Live thing where he freaking lit them all up there? Like,
it's the same with Ricky Gervais. They brought him back, what, 2 or 3 times? They expect him not to roast people? Come on.
Yeah. And that last one was pretty awesome.
Yes.
So, and really, like Jag said, the Grammys are bullshit. And they are. Like, tell me, like, what music is dead? Like, and I know you're into like the music you're into. There's still a lot out. Like, if you find it, you'll find like the death metal. But me, like that likes the rock. Like, I guess alternative rock. There's not a lot anymore. You get like the Sheepdogs, which I haven't heard anything from them for a while. The Glorious Sons are pretty solid, but there's no new rock. There's not that band that's like, oh man, like for instance, Colin, my son, he's gonna be 17. I think about him and I'm like, well, what is your legacy in music going to be? What are you going to be able to say to your kids? This is what I listen to. This is, my stuff. They don't have anything. Like, you think, and maybe this is just me, like the old guy who is maybe misdirected, but I mean, we think of the band. We have Nirvana, Pearl Jam, Soundgarden, STP, and then you go to rap, Biggie, Pac, Ice Cube, NWA. That's just to name a couple. Think of the great 90s bands that, like Sponge, Bush, Cake, those kind of bands. Like my kid has nothing to go, hey son, listen to this. Listen to this shitty rapper that you can't understand what he's saying.
On SoundCloud.
Yeah. Listen to all that auto tunes. Your dad could sound like that too. Just
or
recording
mumble rap.
done. It's so bad. I don't get it, and it's and I mean, and again, maybe it's just, I'm the old guy, but at least when it came to Pac and stuff, you could understand what they were saying, right? Yeah. You could and they were stories. A lot of the songs were stories, and nowadays, like, not saying that Biggie and Pac and Easy and them didn't rap about bitches and blunts. Like, but you can listen to stuff like War Stories, and I Ain't Mad at Ya, Life Goes On. I'm just thinking Pac because I love Pac, right? It just, yeah, I don't know anymore. And I don't think you've ever really been into rap, have you? Aside from the main hits?
Not huge into rap. I tried to look for more of the underground stuff. I listened to a lot of Nas a good 10 or 12 years ago, and Immortal Technique. And there were a few others that I hadn't really heard of that I wanted to hear because apparently they were really big, but not in the mainstream. So I always wanted to look for the out of the spotlight, underground kind of stuff.
I like the organized rhyme. No, nothing. Tom Green's band.
Oh, that's right.
Check the OR. Check the OR. You like it so far? Pass the OJ because I got juice. Fuck Grammy shit right there. That's so horrible.
Canadian Grammys, yeah.
Canadian. He had like the old school Ottawa Senators hat on. Tom Green was awesome. So, what's going on down in Van? How's weather? How's everybody? How's everything?
There was a few days ago. It was either 2 or 3 Freemason temples set ablaze. And I didn't read too much into the story. There were 2 in North Vancouver and 1 in Vancouver that was set on fire. And the police apparently arrested a 42-year-old man who was apparently a suspect. Maybe he was caught trying to flee the scene. And I could just imagine his reasoning. Like I said, I didn't do any research into this, but I'm thinking that the guy who set the fires was trying to fight the New World Order or the Illuminati, because the Freemasons have long been associated in conspiracy circles as people who are behind the scenes orchestrating stuff, and they're all 33rd degree and they're evil and secret number 322 and they're pulling the strings. So the guy's trying to get back at him. It's like mental illness kind of.
Yeah, it's yeah. Well, it's same with wasn't it the stabbings that just happened too?
Yeah, in Lynn Valley there were 8 or 9 people who were stabbed, one that died, and I don't even know that there's a motive established yet. And why would someone do that?
I don't know.
It makes no sense.
And that's the thing is, now you'll hear the people say, "See, he didn't have a gun to kill people. Should we ban all the knives?"
Yes, we should. That is exactly what we should do, and we should also preemptively ban forks and spoons, and we should get rid of anvils and hammers just in case, and bolt cutters have to go because you might try and run up behind someone and snip the tendons in the back of their feet so they can't run away.
I felt that.
Oh,
I felt that. Well, remember in Robin Hood, Prince of Thieves, the sheriff did say, "I'm gonna carve your heart out with a spoon." Why a spoon? It'll hurt more, you idiot. Remember? And then when he stabs his brother, he's like, "At least I didn't use a spoon." I didn't hear that. Wow, about lighting. So let's think about this. This one gentleman apparently is a suspect for burning down these 3 churches or
Freemason lodges.
Yeah. Do you think this is going to end the Freemasons? That they're just going to... I've never understood that, burning down churches and defacing things. And do you think that just because you did this in one little section of the world, that the whole world just going to go, "Holy shit, fold it up, we out"? Like, I've never understood that.
Yeah, they're all canceled now. Yeah. They see my friend Bobby right there. I did not hear this on the news. I did not watch this. This is an interesting take and an interesting story that I just saw, and I want to get your opinions on this, because has a father who was a bully, who had a son who was bullied. This is an interesting story. So the Calgary Board of Education is facing a lawsuit over a 9-year-old student who died by suicide. So again, so this happened back in March. The young girl's name, I'm gonna butcher this, and I'm sorry, Amala Ashtinwi. So they had made the school aware of the bullying, and they had tried, numerous times to get help, and she never got the help, and this young girl ended up committed suicide. So I'm kind of wondering, it was a Syrian family. Like, wow, that's going to set a precedent, depending on which way this goes. Either way, it's wow. That's very sad. And of course, we can all say something should have been done. There should have been steps taken. Yeah. Jesus. 9 years old. I can still remember the Amanda Todd story from years and years ago. Same thing. Bullying, didn't get help, suicide. 9 years old. Good Lord.
And you see, a lot of people might think like, well, I was bullied. Like grade 7 was really bad. 6 was bad because I went from Morphe to Mac 1. I got bullied really bad till Ashley Brusso and them came to my aid and helped me out. Thank God they were from. God, I miss him. Yeah. I used to be able to get away because I wasn't at school. Or in the evenings and that late, after school. As long as I ran home and got home, I wasn't getting picked on anymore, and then on the weekends. But now with social media and Facebook, and 9 years old, people might say, "Oh, that's really young," but I see a lot of kids, with accounts and stuff now on this stuff, right? Especially online gaming and whatnot.
Mm-hmm.
Now I don't know if this young lady, the young girl, had it, but like, holy cow, that's just crazy.
And especially an immigrant family from Syria. I mean, you would think people would have more compassion and common sense. The fact that I've seen many signs in the past year where people say be kind, that alone tells me that this is not the country I grew up in, because Canada has stereotypically been known for being overly polite. And now we have to remind each other to be kind. What has changed? I don't understand. Why does it matter where someone is from, or what their skin color is, or what their religion is, or anything? Why does that matter? We're all human beings, so let's go eat meat.
Yeah,
No.
No, you're right. I don't understand. Well, I understand, and I think it comes to it's just the rhetoric that people read online. I honestly think they see a story they don't read the story. they take the clickbait and they just read the headline and like, hey, I'm against that, derp, 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 and they share it. And it's like, well, did you read the story? Do you know what the problem is with it? Or you caught that headline and you're like, holy burr. I've said the example before, my old job. A guy was carrying on, I always forget the gentleman's name, but the leader of the NDP, the Sikh gentleman. And this guy at work, where I used to work, was carrying on about, he keeps talking about no, that's actually a good topic though. He was carrying on about, he's saying my country, and he's not even from my country. And while he's ranting and raving and freaking out, I brought up my phone and I typed in NDP leader. And I went, hey, he's from Peterborough, Ontario. Well, he was saying my country. Maybe he was talking about Canada, goofus. Like, he doesn't. And then he's like, well, and he said something like, well, it doesn't matter. And I'm like, no, it matters. Because it's people like you who don't do fact checking and are just ranting and raving. And we're sitting in a room with a couple older gentlemen who do not use phones, and they're going to hear you say this crap, and they're just going to believe that it's true. That's what's changed in the world.
Yeah, the old confirmation bias. I hear what I want to hear because it confirms what I already want to think and hear.
Mm-hmm. Exactly. That's exactly it. So, no, Jagger, but you need to watch the beginning of the show. You have to. Even the first minute and a half of it. You need to go back and watch. So I wish he wouldn't have apologized for this. So we'll talk about it right now. So Jagger asked the question, did we talk about the Antichrist Little Nas show video and whatnot yet? I don't care. And by the way, folks, and the few that see this and maybe more later, get a new game, Nas. Fucking Madonna was making out with Black Jesus back in '89. Like, come on, this is some old shit. We've all seen this stuff before. So, and to make it clear, a lot of people are, I'm not gonna buy Nikes. This is just it. They don't read the story. Oh, I'm never gonna buy Nikes again because they blah, 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 blah. No, he just took a Nike shoe and did this. Nike had nothing to do with it. And if I'm not mistaken, I'm pretty sure it says right there, Nike wins to halt further sales of Little Nas X Satan shoes. Because he didn't have clearance. He just used a Nike shoe. But as far as him with the blood in the shoe and, hey, I didn't know who Little Nas was. I think he's the guy that did the song with Billy Ray Cyrus on Further Investigation, but I didn't know who he was. I now know who he is. Bravo. Can we make some Garbage Man shoes with a piece of garbage in it? And maybe we'll get some controversy and some hits or something. I don't know.
Yeah. That's how people get famous nowadays. You garner controversy, you do something really crazy, and you make sure to boost your sales of whatever you're selling at the moment. There was a rapper, I don't know how many years ago, 3 or 4 years, he was promoting flat earth theory, but at the same time, he was trying to sell his album. So does he really believe in flat Earth, or was he doing it for the publicity?
Maybe a little bit from column A, maybe a little bit from column B.
Maybe.
Right? I could just I think it's genius. I got it. Garbage man shoes with Gorilla Glue for shoelaces. Done. Wait, I shouldn't be saying these ideas. People are going to steal them. But who cares? And again, he had sex with the devil. I watched Saddam Hussein make Satan his bitch back in 2000. So, again, late to the party. Hey, Satan! The fucking fake rubber dick. Come on, guys, it's fake. Ow, I slapped my leg. Ow! Darknesses. But yeah, I wish he wouldn't apologized. Why? Because you made some freaking Christian people mad? That's what you're apologizing for. So ridiculous. Yeah, he was the Billy Ray Cyrus guy. For those of you listening, I asked Alex a question. I know Jagger will like this if he's still watching. I asked Alex if there was a cover of a song. I'm not putting him under pressure because I just kind of threw it at him. A cover of a song that the original was horrible, but the second was okay. Not okay. Horror. I'm going with horrible, but the second was way better. Excuse me. And I came at Alex with that burp and that's brutal. Tweeter and the Monkey Man by the Headstones. Way better than the original done by the Traveling Wilburys. And I know that Jagger is a huge, huge fan of the Headstones. And yes, Rena Verk was another one. That was a terrible story. And I recommend anyone that wants a podcast to listen to, go listen to Canadian True Crime Podcast. And they cover that. It's a really heart-wrenching story. It's horrible. Mm-hmm. So, but you know what? Now that Sarah brought that up, do you think maybe, it just wasn't prevalent because the social media wasn't there? Do you think maybe that might have, because I think that's a lot of time with the predators we see now, with pedophiles and whatnot, is that before it was such a hush hush thing and there wasn't the internet. And now it's just so it's, you know what I mean? I think it's always been there. Maybe not to the degree, but I think it's been a high number,
I think so.
Yeah.
It's just like everything else, Catholic priests and serial killers and rapists. It's and like Will Smith said, racism isn't getting worse, it's getting filmed. All this stuff is being brought to the fore via the internet. It's gotten amplified. I mean, big time amplified, and it's not going away anytime soon. No matter who gets canceled, no matter how many YouTube channels get taken down for talking about this stuff. Even Ryan LaForge, if you know that name, he's the guy who's always going after people on the internet who want to meet minors. He goes after them and he takes video of it. And at the end, he says, "You're done, bud." So he's got his little catchphrase.
Yeah.
Yeah, that ain't going away.
No.
Hey, Jen.
Hello, Jennifer. How are you? Yeah, I think it's just, yeah, it's a lot just more out there now. Mm-hmm. And I think it's always been there. I was going to say something. I lost it there.
There he is.
There's Chadney. And I completely agree. That is another one.
Yeah.
No, I think I'm going to get this wrong. I'm doing it without looking. Did Knocking on Heaven's Door, is that a Clapton song? I feel so bad for saying this. Or is it a Dylan song? It's
one of the two.
I'm pretty sure it was. Anyways, I got one in the reverse that the one was so good, that the original was so good and the cover was so bad. We can just all agree the number one is American Pie by Madonna. It was the worst cover ever done in the history of covers.
Yep.
Was absolutely atrocious. Yeah, look at that. My Facebook's firing up now because everybody's watching. Sarah just sent me another one. Apparently, she just came across this. I'm just trying to see this now and bring it up. She just came across this on the news. Holy shit. Oh, so actually, it's interesting that we actually talked about this right now. So, is it Dylan? I thought Knocking on Heaven's Door was. See, okay, so Dylan did it first. Yeah, Eric Clapton's was way better. I wanted to make sure I had it right. And what are you saying, Sarah? That Johnny Cash is hurt? Because I like 9 Inch Nails way more. Not way more. I liked John. Like, yeah.
It's difficult for me. I think there's a live version that 9 Inch Nails did of Hurt, and you can find the music video, which it's amazing. And I think it beats the studio version, but putting it up against Johnny Cash's version, it's tough. It's like down to the wire on which is better, I think.
Because Johnny, because he it's almost like he knew it was the end. He knew. Because he passed away, I think, just before it came out, didn't he? Or just before the video came out, or just after?
It was somewhere like right after it.
Mm-hmm. Like, yeah. I get goosebumps actually just kind of thinking about it, like, because it was that close. Yeah. But anyways, I like this music talk, but I just got to get this out here first. So Kelly Ellard, her day parole has been expanded. The woman convicted of killing 14-year-old Rena Verk near Victoria in 1997. So that was decision from the Parole Board of Canada released Tuesday, says Ellard, who now goes by the name of Carrie Sim. Wow. So she can now she can live away from her residential facility for 5 days a week. Wow. And if I remember the story correctly, the reason that the Verk family, of course, not only just because their daughter was killed, but she carried on that all the other kids had apologized. We're trying to make amends for it. Whereas this Kelly girl just never admitted that she was wrong or like didn't do it, if I remember the story correctly. So I could be wrong, but I mean, I listened to that podcast quite a while ago, so I can't quite remember about what the circumstances were around that. So
I see we have 7 people watching, and Tamara left us an angry Facebook emoji. Did we do something wrong, Tamara? Are you okay?
I was going to say, who left us an angry thing? The fuck's wrong with your woman, Chadney? That's it. She no longer jugs to me anymore.
Yeah, she needs to get a hug or something.
Oh, I'll hug her. All right. Oh.
Get consent first, though.
Oh, yeah. Oh, dude. Last time I saw them, she came running to me to give the hug. She wanted to make sure that she got a hug before Chad got a hug.
Did she ask?
No.
Oh, she sexually assaulted you.
I'm all right with it.
She has to be canceled.
Keeps cutting out on Facebook. Stupid Facebook. Well, we're on YouTube, so if the YouTube stream's holding up, hopefully it's holding up good. Sarah, anyone else that's on YouTube? Jen, if you do want to continue to watching, it is Alex and the Garbage Man on YouTube. So if you wanted to watch there.
If you've got the address, maybe paste it as a banner so she can copy it or something.
No. Okay, I will find it and.
Oh, she was angry facing her for all. Okay.
Oh,
all right.
Okay. Thanks for the clarification. You can have your nickname back then. Okay with that. Okay, now just give me a second. We're not quite a well-oiled machine yet.
Not yet, but we will be.
We will be. The problem is nothing.
Yeah, YouTube is miles ahead of Facebook when it comes to live streaming.
Alex and the Garbage Man. Look at that. I'm marking out to myself and bringing up my own page. Okay. It's like Inception. I'm watching me. Wow.
Watching me. Watching you.
Do. All right, hold on. Okay, I gotta stop. This is kind of fucking me up right now. Hold on. All right, there we go. All right, let's go. And pull here, paste here, scroll on the bottom, add banner. That didn't work. Show. Yeah. How is that gonna help anybody? I ain't gonna help anybody. Hold on a second here. No.
Maybe you should pause the ticker and then they can type it in bit by bit.
There, that'll work better. There we go. That banner's making me nauseous. All right, there we go. That's better. All right, back to the show. I just did that. I was watching myself, watching me, watching you. Sweet garbage man. That was good. I like that one. Shit in my throat. Oh, what else is going on in the world of shit?
I wanted to do a public service announcement.
All right.
So in 2020, and this is according to an article I saw on CBC a while ago, 2020 was BC's deadliest year ever for drug overdoses. 1,716 people died due to illicit drug use last year, equating to 4.7 deaths a day, a 74% increase over 2019. Of those who died in 2020, 69% were between the ages of 30 and 59, and 81% of those who died were men. And there's something to do with fentanyl as well. So I looked up fentanyl and got a little bit on the history of it from news-medical.net. Fentanyl was first prepared and developed by Dr. Paul Janssen in 1959 under a patent held by his company, Janssen Pharmaceutica. As a potent analgesic that is almost 100 times stronger than morphine, the use of fentanyl as a pain reliever and anesthetic was quickly adopted in the medical setting. And then I found a little bit more of a brief history on fentanyl from orbishealth.ca. Currently, and this is going to play into what we're going to talk about next, currently a major source of fentanyl is, as Donald Trump likes to say, China, where there is currently no regulation for fentanyl production, making it easy for users or illicit drug manufacturers to produce and ship large amounts directly to Canada or the US, usually as a powder. The second source of fentanyl is through illegal reselling of prescription fentanyl, which is typically coming in the form of transdermal patches, tablets, and nasal spray. So what can we learn from all this? Well, we can have a serious sit-down, face-to-face, heart-to-heart talk with our local drug dealers. You must ensure that the products that your local drug dealer is getting from his dealer is organic, it's from conflict-free zones, there are no additives or preservatives, and most importantly, no products have been tested on animals. Namaste. Anyway.
I was just trying not to laugh. Well, that's out the window. When I had my appendix issue 2 years ago.
Yep.
Fuck it, we're out. Oh, that's the first curse. There you go. I think that's my first curse. When she said they were going to give me fentanyl, I felt my eyes get about this big. So I was like, whoa, because that was right around the time when it was out of control down in like the Blood Tribe Nation and around Lethbridge. It was really bad. I freaked out. I'm like, no, you're not. She's like, no, it's okay. Like, it's administered by a doctor, of course. And then I found out when I broke my leg, I had fentanyl too, but it's scary. It's
Jen is laughing at you. No, I'm kidding.
She's laughing at you, clown, because you're
yes,
breaking shit. Oh, there's another sweater. See, look at it. See, you do dumb stuff and I curse. It's your fault.
Well, no kids under 13 can watch us anymore because it would seriously impair their morals and their ethics.
Isn't it amazing the way you hear children talk now?
Yeah, especially in online gaming.
We've had this discussion.
Yeah.
I've had many a young man tell me that they've had relations with my mother. One kid even clapped to make the sound. I didn't even know what to say. Like, I just killed you in a video game, dude. Can I have my allowance now? Apparently, stepdad. Like, what? Like, well, and I have one of them too. And I don't know if you guys can hear any of it, but he's across the wall, and just the stuff they say. I'm like, I gotta write this down because I gotta use some of it. Actually, I won't say it because I know my mom's listening. I'll tell you off air. A really good one I heard today. It was on the Cornet show. It wasn't even on online gaming today. So, yeah. Now what? Let's see what else is in the news. I tried watching some Biden interviews. Man, he is entertaining to listen to talk. Like he is something else.
Now, when you say entertaining, this is not on a Donald Trump level of entertainment, is it?
No, because Donald Trump was everything he said. Well, no, because if Donald Trump had everything going, right? I don't know if it's maybe not entertaining. Actually, almost a little sad for the guy because it's like he shouldn't be there.
No.
Like you should be on a golf. And I'm not saying this because oh my god, you're such a right wing nut. No, he's 70. He should be on a golf course right now, eating pudding. You know,
taking afternoon naps.
Yeah, dude. Like, man, you want to be 70 years old and run the biggest country and like no the most powerful nation in the world? No, man, you should be working on your golf swing. I don't know. Don't you think so? I've said this from the get-go. Can't they find someone out of the 300 bazillion people they have that's, hopefully going to make it through their full term?
Look at this. We talk about Trump and Brody gives us a like.
They say Trump. Hey, my boy, Joe, give me my mega hat. But that goes for anyone, Jen. All these older people, I'm not a Justin Trudeau fan, but at least he's a young, vibrant man.
He has such great hair too.
Always flowing. I think, every time he talks and I listen to him after he's done saying like a bunch of mumbling words, we should really have that guy from Billy Madison go, like, these people are now stupider for now listening to you. Every time he finishes talking, that's what should happen. And it's just what, like, I'm watching it going, is he getting finished that sentence? He was a drama teacher? I mean, I realize he's standing out in front of a camera, but I don't remember Mr. Rodenizer tripping over his words when he would do like monologues and stuff in front of us in drama class. He didn't skip on his word. I mean, we're just a 30-student classroom, but still, like, I thought Trudeau was a drama teacher. You can't even talk in front of a freaking camera. Great Google. There he is! Man, 43 minutes. Oh, Lord, I thought he would have been first for sure.
No, he's retired now.
Hey, we can't say that. Oh, you said retired, not the other R word. Okay, cool.
Ooh.
Yeah, I agree, Brody. They're both too old. They were both too old. So
yeah, there's a lot of cognitive function that is required for a job as stressful as being president of the United States. Not only are you traveling, but you're getting multiple memos and just books of knowledge that you have to absorb every single day, because it's not just domestic relations and international relations. You have to know what's going on pretty much everywhere all the time, because there are decisions as a president that you have to make that will affect people in far off countries, people next door. It's a huge job. And someone like Biden, and I'm not really knocking you're being ageist. No, I'm not. There are studies showing cognitive decline that happens, and he didn't. Maybe Kamala, pardon me, should take over at some point, even though that's what the Republicans are thinking is going to happen.
Yeah, and let's get that straight. I honestly call her Kamala too, but it's a slip because it's spelt the same way as a wrestler's name was spelt. So yeah. I'm not trying to be ignorant and making fun of her name. I just English words not good. So
words English hard.
Yeah, there you go. Right. So, yeah, I don't under. Well, they got to update the site. Holy shit, that's another swear word. We need to make Nick a swear jar. God, my kids laugh. I lost my track of thought. Yeah, and yeah, again, I'm not saying that to be mean. Like he go golf. He should be enjoying retirement. His all jokes aside, because I know I'm going to say this, and everyone's going to be like, yeah, he wants to enjoy his grandkids, all right, pervert. No, he should be enjoying time with his grandchildren and golfing and that kind of stuff. Like, he should not be running the most powerful nation in the world. Right? So,
Right. Yeah.
something actually I think we should touch on a little bit is, we don't have to go into great detail because it's such a hot button topic, though, is the George Floyd trial that is going on right now.
Yeah.
I don't know if you were here. I don't think you were part of the show when we actually started talking about this situation. And I mean, I've had a lot of time. I've kind of not flip-flopping in that killing a man has ever been right. I've said from the get-go. But I'm more on the camp now of, no, I don't care how big of a piece of shit this guy was, according to some people. I'm not saying he's a piece of shit. I'm just giving, and other people who are making him a martyr now, if that's the word I want to use there, a martyr. And no one deserves to die with a knee on their neck for 9 fucking minutes. Nobody. Well, not in that situation. No. And that and I've been all over the page with this, because I've seen the video now, and I've seen, we're not talking about the gentleman that reached into his vehicle with a cop behind him, just reached in, and then everyone's like trying to make it. You notice how that kind of went away?
Yeah.
Kind of disappeared, going, well, he was kind of silly to be doing that. I will say on that one, though, what bothers me about the situation is it took a trained officer 7 bullets to stop the guy. I think maybe 1 in the leg or something, like Danny Glover said in Lethal Weapon. Like,
remember, cops are trained to shoot for center mass. Trying to hit somebody in the leg when they're running at you is very difficult. Like, bullets ricochet and miss, and yeah.
But that's not the one I'm saying, Alex. The one where the guy walked around his vehicle and went into the vehicle, and the guy shot him 7 times in the back. Do you remember that? Yeah, that was the one. So, thanks, Bones. But I don't know what's going to happen. I don't know where. I think either way, there's going to be riots. Either way it goes. Like, what about yourself? Like, what do you?
Yeah, of course. At this point, the only way to achieve positive, everlasting change is through probably riots and protests, because America at this point in time is hopelessly and needlessly corrupt at almost every level. So the people in legislature and the executive branch, they're not going to quickly and willingly change, because that would probably mean the end of their job, or their job's going to get tougher, or something along those lines. It's going to take. I think there was a quote by John F. Kennedy: when peaceful opposition becomes impossible, violent revolution becomes inevitable. Something like that. And it's probably going to get to that point, unfortunately.
Yeah,
happy, joy.
Happy. Yeah, and that's, and it's just that you don't know. Daniel Shaver. Okay, well, let's look up, folks, while we're sitting here. Daniel, well, you're the articulate one, so you're better. You're better at the word reading than I am. Right. It's just, God. I think it's what like the Joe Rogan said is studies have shown, like, when rats are piled on top of each other, they go fucking God, I'm trying to swear. They go crazy.
Yep.
And I think that's what's happening in America. There's so many people jammed into such a small space that people snap. And that's just it, bro. If that's what happens, like if he's acquitted, that is what's going to happen. I firmly believe it will. So, did you find anything on this gentleman that Redneck pointed us towards?
Yeah, Daniel Shaver. On January 18th, 2016, Daniel Leighton Shaver of Granbury, Texas, was fatally shot by police officer Philip Brailsford in the hallway of a La Quinta Inn and Suites hotel in Mesa, Arizona, in the United States.
I remember this.
Yeah? Doesn't sound familiar. People were responding to a report that a rifle had been pointed out the window of Shaver's hotel room. After the shooting, the rifle, which remained in the room, was determined to be a pellet gun.
If I remember correctly, is this not the guy? Maybe Ryan can fill me in here. Is this not the video where the guy's like, "You're gonna die," and he's like, the guy's like, "Please don't shoot me, please don't shoot me, I don't want to die." Like he's literally crying, going, "Please don't kill me, please don't shoot." And again, and it even says on his gun on the side, like you're effed on the side of his gun or something. Is that the guy I'm thinking of, Ryan? I have not watched the Snyder cut of DC because I do not have HBO. So
I haven't seen it yet.
I've heard nothing but good. I've heard it's really, really good. Like how it was supposed to be done instead of the crap that we got given. So yeah, I think that was the guy. Come on, Ryan, talk. You were just going. Let me look here, because yeah, I'm pretty sure. Yeah, well, that's just it, bro. It'll be Rodney King times 1,000. It'll be huge.
Yeah.
Sorry here, guys. I just want to see this. I'm pretty sure that's the guy. He was literally. Oh, there's the video. Yes. He was unarmed, begging. There it is, because I just found the videos. Yeah, I remember this. I listened to the video. He was begging for his life, and the cop still shot him. Yeah, exactly. Yeah, he was begging for mercy. Yeah, and then it shows him being gunned down. Yeah, born to kill. That's what was on his gun. Born to kill. It said on his gun. So, yeah, wow.
The full unedited body camera footage of the shooting was released by the Mesa Police Department hours after Brailsford was found not guilty of murder and reckless manslaughter.
I didn't even know he'd been to trial. Wow. Wow, that is unreal.
I watched a movie recently called Fruitvale Station. It's all about the killing of a 22-year-old black man at it was somewhere in San Francisco, and this was in 2010. It was like New Year's Day 2010. Very good movie starring Michael B. Jordan. And I remember the riots and protests that happened right after that shooting. That was terrible. It's just another example of messed up reactionary police work. And no, not all cops are that. Why do I have to give this disclaimer?
You have to.
Hashtag not all cops.
Yeah. And here's actually, speaking of this, I've always been, not always, but especially since this has really come to the forefront here in the last few years. And we're talking about, like, and I've said this, like, Chappelle was the one that said, he's like, haven't you listened to my stand-up since 2004? I've been talking about this. NWA was talking about this in 89. I'll do one better because I know I saw this on, because again, I didn't see where, but apparently some place they're trying to pull To Kill a Mockingbird because it's uncomfortable. That's the point of the book.
Yeah.
That's so To Kill
early 50s, I think it was released.
So the 50s, if you guys have not read To Kill a Mockingbird, you should be ashamed of yourself, first off, because it is an amazing book. But the whole justice that happened, that Abacus is lawyering for. I can't remember the black gentleman in that the name, but it's he proves in court, like it's right there, and how the injustice happens. This is a book from the 50s, guys. I think set in the 30s, wasn't it? Even earlier.
Probably the 30s or 40s, yeah.
Yeah, I think it was during the Depression. So I mean, like, you know, and again, people are like, "Hey, I mean, this is really happening. That we're blaming." You know, the African Americans for doing this, like, you know. Yeah, that's right. They did, Jen. And I remember having to read it. I enjoyed it. I think it was Clark's class. I had to read it.
Mr. Clark.
Was it Mr. Clark? Grade 9, I think. 9 or 10? Who the fart was my teacher then? I don't even know.
Now that's something you can't
nonetheless.
look up on your phone.
No, I had Mrs. Williams in grade 12. Clark was 10. I don't know if they had Miss McKay in there. Oh, Callahan was grade 9. Callie was awesome. Yeah, and you know what? I'm just looking at this picture of this cop. Yeah, you can just tell he looks like a douchebag. He looks like he's got like, yeah. Ugh. He just looks like a tool bag. Major tool bag.
Mr. Clark, I remember there was a joke that I think he himself came up with, and it had to do with a literary device. It's something along the lines of, "You went to the dance to find a 10, but you only met a 4.
That's actually pretty good. That's actually pretty good.
From a technical standpoint, yeah, but the joke itself, come on.
Actually, I remember whenever you wanted to really get him diverted, just start talking about spanking your kids. That you thought spanking was appropriate, and he would rant, and you could fight with him. She's a friend on my Facebook. Quite the stunning lady. Yes, she beautiful. Beautiful. Yeah, see, and that's, I mean, I don't know if that's true or not, but maybe he did. You look at him, and you're just like, yeah, he just, yeah. I may go look at his picture, look up the guy's name who did the officer did the shooting, and maybe it is a little big man syndrome. We've talked about it before. Should these police officers be trained in a proper form of martial arts? I mean, Rogan has pushed that, and yeah, I'm going to say the fuck out of Rogan. Yeah. Has he not said that before, that it would be a viable weapon instead of going to like guns, and especially if it's only someone with a knife, if you know how to unarm someone,
disarm,
right?
Yeah.
Or disarm someone, like, you know what I mean? It'd be a lot safer, no?
Yeah, grappling holds. Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah. So, like, it's just such, oh shit. Sorry, just gotta shuffle my butt. I'm uncomfortable. So, yeah, I just got a message from a friend who is on the Cornfest committee. Says they're trying to make sure Cornfest is ready. They're going to be hopefully going ahead with it. So, sounds like me and the boys, if we got our poop together, we'll be playing Cornfest this year. If there is a Cornfest.
Yeah.
Well, I don't know. I mean, it's still not till August, but I don't know, man. Just with the way things are going right now, I can't see there being huge gatherings. I can't see it happening. Not this year. Not big gatherings anyways. I don't know about you guys. I mean, because your population is so much bigger than what we got here. So I don't know.
Yeah, well, at this point in British Columbia, they closed down all the restaurants for dine-in. It's takeout only, which is fine with me. I mean, I'd rather take the food home because I got plenty more freedom here as opposed to sitting in a restaurant.
Yeah, and that time you pulled your balls out at the A&W did not go well. I mean, they did give you that cup that told you to get out. So, I mean,
yes,
it did not go well the last time you got naked in the store. So,
yes. And there were no children there, just so we're all clear on that.
It was an adult A&W.
just like Idiocracy, full body latte.
Yeah. Yep. Well, and we haven't even speak to talk about this. That incident down in Atlanta, the massage parlor. And the guy's reasoning was because they made fun of him.
Okay. So this is where I'm going to chime in, because in grade 6 and grade 7, I got made fun of a lot. I was bullied too, and I didn't go around killing people. I didn't bring a knife to school. I played Doom. I played Doom a lot. I mean, unhealthily a lot.
And Wolfenstein.
And yeah, I started with Wolfenstein, then I went to Spear of Destiny, and that was 92. And then in 93, when the first 9 episodes of Doom came out, I played that until the other 2 episodes were released. Then I played Doom 2 in Christmas of 94 when it was released. And I never became a big old massive serial killer or mass shooter. But that's partially due to the fact that I never had access to a gun. You know, if I did, maybe we wouldn't be talking right now.
I'll chime in then. I was a 200-pound grade 8er. So you can imagine the hell that I went through. And I knew where my dad's guns were. I knew where the bullets were. I knew where the clips were. And not once did I ever think about grabbing that gun. I got fucking the shit kicked out of me in grade 8. And I didn't, I can't say the shit kicked out, but I got thrown around, slammed into lockers and stuff like that. I didn't think about going to get my dad's gun and shooting any. I didn't think about doing anything. Like they made fun of you. Oh, just don't go there anymore. Like they made fun of you. Like, good Lord. I'm that guy now that I remember the last time I was in a pool. This was a few years ago. And these both 13 to 14-year-olds were staring at me. I'm like, yes, I'm fat. Look at my boobs. And they stopped looking, right? Like, yeah. Actually, my favorite one, I don't know why this caught me the wrong way. I was with, me and Ashley were still together, and we were at the Medicine Hat Buffet. And I was standing in line, and the guy behind me, I don't think he thought I could hear him. And he went, oh, man, we better get up there before the big bald guy gets up there. And I turned around and I said, what the fuck did you just say to me? Or what? And he's like, oh, nothing. I'm like, no. What? Are you scared I'm going to eat the whole buffet before you get up there? He's like, well, just let it go. I said, no. How about we go outside and I beat the shit out of you, and then I'll come eat all the food.
Because you have built up an appetite.
Oh, I was so mad. Like again, and this wasn't a young guy. He was like at the time, so this was 12 years. Oh, yeah, about 12 years ago. Yeah, about 13 years ago. So I was 27. This guy had to be in his 40s. And like, I will crack your fucking head open, old man. Like, yeah, see, it's good. Medicine Hat Buffet is awesome. But yeah, I almost killed a guy, right? So, yeah, and excuse me, ladies and gentlemen, if there was ever someone, and not making light of school shootings, that was ever going to shoot up a school, it would have been that guy right there, because he had a lot of guns and alcohol. Good Lord. Couldn't throw a baseball worth of shit, but he shoot the dick off a fly, though. Good Lord. Oh, man. Oh, I just had the air go up my nose the wrong way. Well, what else?
Did we want to mention the huge, it's either an increase in the actual attacks on Asian people or the huge media coverage increase on the attacks on Asian people here in North America?
Well, now it's probably both. But it also may be more relevant on the, like, is it wrong for me to say that it's the hot topic right now? Like, it's the hot button? Sorry, I didn't hit you back. And it should be, and nobody should be discriminated. And I will, again, I shouldn't have to say this, but I have to say it, this is a subject we should be talking about. We've talked about it 100 times. Everybody should be loving each other and caring for each other. And videos are surfacing of some pretty big gentlemen beating the shit out of little Asian people. And I mean beating the shit out of them. But I see what you're saying, Alex. Is this just the media trying to hype I hate saying that because then you become, see, you're fake news and you're believing all the news. Derp, 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 right? So, what do you think?
It's happening, but I'm not watching or seeing the coverage, so I don't know if it's the same few stories being repeated day after day. But it makes absolutely no sense why a person here in North America would go after a person of Asian descent. It's not like there are sleeper cells of Asians popping up all over the place and they're going out and they're coughing on everyone because China is the mother country and we must make sure that they become the next superpower in 10 years. No, there is no reason or rationale as to why this is happening. Why would you go up to someone that you don't know, that you can't prove did anything, that you can't prove had anything to do with this, and attack them, physically assault them? Where is the logic? Justin Timberlake said, "Where's the love?" I'm saying, where's the logic?
And that goes for this happened, like this same thing happened to Muslim people. And not just Muslim people, Sikh people, anyone with brown skin, because people are ignorant. They were just lumped into one group.
Yeah.
And this happened. Like, this isn't the first time this happened around the world. I'm not just saying one spot, around the world. And it's ridiculous. And but you nailed it, Alex. You nailed it. Yeah, this person whose name is like I just try okay, well, his name is Alex Wong. He talks the exact same as us. He doesn't even have the slightest bit of an accent or have trouble speaking English. But yet you think he had something to do with this? So here, I just thought of this. So if all these buttholes think that this is okay to go after the Asians because of the coronavirus, so on that same logic, then whoever did stuff to your ancestors, you should have a receipt coming for that then. So if your great grandfather was a slave owner, then you should be able to be punched in the face because your grandfather 7 generations back owned slaves. So that's the same kind of logic, isn't it?
Yes, and you should be forced to pay reparations to that slave's current living relative.
Yes. Okay. So remember that. And then I've seen a video from an African American gentleman and a white gentleman beating the crap out of Asian people. So if that's how you feel, remember, everybody at one time was in a different pecking order. So if that's the way you feel, that every Asian is responsible, then you can't be turning around and saying, well, not all white people are responsible for all the shit that's going on right now. Well, no, in your logic, it really is, because that's how you feel about Asian people.
Yeah.
Right? It's like, I'm not wrong. Ugh. And I'm just a fat hillbilly in my basement in Taylor, Alberta, and I can figure this shit out. Like, and there's something I need you to watch before next week to see if it's offensive. There is a wrestler. Her name is Asuka. She is on Monday Night Raw. She's a Japanese wrestler. You need to watch it and tell me in today's world if that is super offensive. I see it as it is a little edgy because it is very stereotypical crazy Japanese person screaming and yelling. It's not as bad as the dubbed Godzilla stuff. That's great stuff. Godzilla! Come on, that stuff was great. Right? Come on. But you have to let me, because the Cornette podcast that I love, he's like, that is horrible. It's very offensive. So
yes,
yes,
everything is offensive. Yep.
Yes.
Absolutely.
Well, so, and this would be interesting to see what happens here, because the WWE network in the States has been sold to NBC, and they are now going to be on the Peacock network. I guess that's their, but here's the thing. They've already started to edit stuff off. So I think a lot of these things need to have disclaimers. Like, this was a different time. We're learning. We've learned since then. If you don't want to watch it, don't watch a network. don't watch it if you don't want to watch it. Now, there is some stuff in some pretty bad taste. Like Roddy Piper decided to paint his whole body black, like half his body, literally half. Yeah. But his promo, not that it justified, but it did make sense where he's like, it doesn't matter whether we're black or white. It's what inside. We're all the same. He still could have got the point across without doing the body, but that's been pulled from the network. This should have been pulled. Mr. McMahon used the N-word. When talking to John Cena, he said, yeah, what's up, my N-word?
Oh.
Yeah. I mean, it was with the A, not the hard ER, but still.
Still, you can't do it.
You are whiter than sour cream, dude. You cannot be saying that.
Yeah, disavow.
But then there's controversial thing. Like, think of the stuff we watched in the 90s with the half-naked women. And there was some racial stuff in there with the Nation of Domination. And if you go back further into the WCW days, there was this group called the Fabulous Freebirds. And they came out with full Confederate flag, like, capes. And their faces were painted the Confederate flag. And, yeah. Yeah. So it'll be kind of interesting to see how much they're actually going to cut off the network.
Kind of like Disney is doing now with some of the older episodes or movies in general. They have that 12-second disclaimer. That was a different time. It's offensive now. We understand. And some of that stuff is only available on adult Disney. I'm not saying adult Disney. I'm saying only adults who have Disney subscriptions can access that kind of stuff. Children, they can't watch it.
Okay. So I will play this. This is, to me, comes back to the whole thing of, parents parent your children. If you don't want your child to watch Dumbo because you think the Black Crows are offensive, then don't let your child watch that. Now, me right now, I would never even mention that to my son. I wouldn't have mentioned it when he was a child because I don't think he'd ever put together, until he read it on the internet, that was a very racial stereotypical thing about African Americans. The Disney and YouTube and WWE Network and all these things have the warnings on them where you can set your parental advisory. So if you feel that Dumbo and what else has got pulled out? The Aristocrats. There was a couple. If you feel that they're that bad and they're going to hurt your children, then set your content, what they can watch. Just make sure everything's G.
Yep.
Or maybe if Disney feels that way, make those movies all PG-13. The ones like that, PG-13.
Yeah.
Like, there's a ways around this. And then at this time, if you think for 1 second that little Timmy is not going on YouTube and watching inappropriate stuff, you may have blocked it at your house. But yeah, it was Peter Pan. That's what it was with the natives in Peter Pan. If you think for 1 second that little Timmy's not going over to little Johnny's and they're not watching South Park clips on little Johnny's phone because his mom doesn't care, you're sadly mistaken. So, yeah, dude. Yeah, I don't want to poke her haunt this, all right? All right. Oh!
It's all furry porn in adult Disney.
Ew. That's disgusting. Adult Disney. I like it. Fuck, we should trademark that. We're going to get sued because we said adult Disney. We are done for after this episode. First episode done. But I just, I'm actually shocked because there is no disclaimer on The Simpsons. They say a lot of stuff in there about like gay people and Jewish people, and I'm shocked nobody's went after The Simpsons yet.
Aside from the Apu thing, yeah. Yeah,
which is, again, it's a voice. It's a voice. Holy crap. It's a voice. It's a voice. Wow. So what else am I talking about? I'm still game. What else have I got? Any new music? I haven't heard anything new that I've...
I'll pimp a song. Yeah.
I better find a song to pimp.
We should make that a segment. Pimp that song.
Yo, bitch, go give me some money. Oh, yeah, go ahead.
Song Boff the South.
And boss yourself.
Chad, are you okay? Did Tamara hit you in the head or something?
I agree with what Chad said, though. We should be using the past history to be like, hey, this wasn't cool.
Yeah.
Like, this is not like this is so it doesn't happen again. So history doesn't repeat itself.
Yeah, those who don't learn from history are doomed to repeat it. It's been said recently. It was said during the George W. Bush administration when they went to war in Iraq for the second time.
Mm-hmm.
So the song that I'm going to pimp, this band is a post-metal, sludge metal, post-hardcore, doom metal band.
I'm already loving it. Come on, great name. Come on, great name.
The name of the band is Amen-Ra, Amenra. The song is 9 minutes long, and it's got a music video, and I like the song more than the music video, but I think the video fits with the song. The album is called Mass 6, MASSVI. They're using Roman numerals. It came out in 2017. The name of the song is A Solitary Reign. Reign, REIGN. It's not a happy song. So if you want to be, Spice Girls, if you want to be, that upbeat stuff, this is not for you. This is dark and depressing, and it's not something that's going to bring you up out of your depression. This is something you should be listening to when you're locked up in quarantine because of COVID.
Okay, you should write that down there so people can look it up.
I should make a banner out of it. I'll do that.
Yeah, sure. I do have a song, and my lead guitarist Jared Moonpie pointed me towards it. So this is from the 2007 album from Johnny No Cash called Dagger Road, and the song is called Buck 20. It is awesome. Yeah. So Johnny No Cash, Buck 20. It's only like a 2-minute song, but I think it's hilarious.
All right.
And if you check out, if you do check that out, he reminds me a lot of Jared's dad, Wild Bill Lawson, and yeah, I think it's great. So, we got an Amazon Alexa, so when the machines rise up, we'll be one of the first ones to die. I love it. It's quite handy. Yeah.
Is that how it's spelled?
Yeah, Johnny No Cash, Buck 20.
Great.
Yeah, I think it's hilarious. So, and Chadney, we don't really care what Chadney says, but we'll pretend we do. Yeah. Trains from Porcupine. Don't fucking tell me what to do. Fine,
my freedom.
Always wear porcupine I want. Why I want a tree of porcupine want to stick me? I am a bum. Wait, does that make me gay? Trains. Porcupine. All right, maybe I'll just look up the porcupine. Those fuck faces. I spelled porcupine the wrong way. Have you ever type something in Google and you're so wrong that even Google's like, I don't know what the fuck you're trying to tell me right now.
I don't think it's gotten to that point with me yet.
I'm definitely slow. And it's just like, oh, I wasn't even close to what that word was. Holy shnikes. Okay. Porcupine tree trains. God, don't make it difficult. Top results. Not even the top result. Okay. You're lucky it's the second song. Because if I had to scroll anywhere, I was not listening to it. All right, I'll add it to my... Actually, Chadney did point out a song that I hadn't listened to in a very long time, and that was Mayonnaise by Smashing Pumpkins. Oh, yeah, I forgot how great that song was, or is. How
I don't
great
think I ever heard that song when it came out, unfortunately.
I didn't. No, me neither. I think, well, no, I was pretty... Yeah, no, I did. Because I heard... Because that Siamese Dream, yeah, no, I heard it. But it wasn't on my radar because I was so into 1979, like Melancholy and Infinite Sadness. So
yeah, I love Cherub Rock from Siamese Dream. That's fucking.
That's
great
a great song. My favorite song though is Perfect. It's on the album after Melancholy and Infinite Sadness. Perfect. It reminds me of Mackenzie every time I listen to it. That, well, 1979 does what Perfect does. I'm there in Mackenzie.
Yeah.
Every time I listen to it. So, but I don't know about you, but my throat is actually starting to get a little frosty now. So,
well, then I guess an hour 24 ain't so bad. There's an old saying, and in this day and age with old sayings, they don't age well. So this is your 5-second trigger warning. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. The old saying is, it ain't over until the fat lady sings. Everyone okay? No one dropped dead? No one fainted? All right. So we're going to modify that saying for this show. The show isn't over until Nick is hungry and sings. And with that, we say goodnight to you for our first episode. No one else in the chat has anything to say. If you want us to cover particular topics, if you want us to bullshit about anything in particular, we can do that. We have our own agenda, but we will accommodate you because you've listened, you've commented, you're there with us, and we thank you. What do you say?
Yeah.
I can't top that, so we're ending on that.